Happy November, everyone. One of the most beautiful times of the year in our neighborhood, and the business we're profiling this week knows that well. If you have not paid a visit to Central Coast Kayaks, I'm pulling your locals card. Central Coast Kayaks has been around for more than a quarter of a century. Tom Riley used to work here when Paul Shiro owned the place, but now Tom and a partner are co-owners and keeping it going.
Well, something that makes Shell Beach unique is it does have accessible sea caves. It's the only accessible sea caves from San Diego to Fort Bragg, or the Mendocino coast. Number two is the conditions are usually mild and accessible. It's a very short distance to travel between this beach and the caves or the coves right around the corner.
The gang at Central Coast Kayaks specializes in paddle sport adventures, sales, repairs, and rentals of kayaks and paddleboards. And their guided tours bring about 5,000 to 6,000 tourists a year to our little cozy community.
As we get into fall, we're seeing our international travelers. Today we have a group of four from Germany. Yesterday we had some folks from England. 3 days before that we had some folks from Ireland. A week before that we had some people from South Africa.
You can simply rent by the hour and choose your own adventure. They still do the heavy lifting for you, show you the basics, and point you in the right direction. Or I highly recommend the guided tours, where the guides show you how to safely explore the caves, coves, and rocky areas.
And with this geology, there's a lot of open rocks, caves and arches and beautiful coves to explore, as well as a lot of wildlife. And so our tours provide everything that you need. You kind of show up with a bathing suit and a sense of adventure.
Seeing the seals, and from near, some of them approached really near in the water, and the pelicans and the rocks were really beautiful. And yeah, driving through the caves, I could stay there a couple of hours more.
It's an extraordinary experience that is different every time, depending on the tide and temperature, the sea and surf conditions, and what critters and creatures decide to come out and play.
So you're paddling maybe 2 to 3 miles at most, and you're getting an amazing experience. We have sea otters, we have harbor seals, sometimes we'll have dolphins, sometimes we'll have whales come through the area. We never really know what we're going to see, but we know we're going to have an adventure along the coastline, and we're fortunate enough to have a beautiful environment to do it in.
And it's right in our own backyard. See you next week, neighbors.